Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and many thanks for joining us this evening. We thought it was appropriate that we have a panel discussion, and we're extremely lucky to have these eminent speakers. They're leaders in their industry to share their thoughts about SMEs, because we talk about SMEs and we know the kind of numbers, we know the kind of projections, the kind of contribution to growth, but when you talk about SMEs in the same breath, you keep coming up with issues like access to finance, transparency, using the right technology, the ability to scale up, so on and so forth. So I'm going to take a quick insight from the members here on this panel to understand from them about how they would negotiate in this current environment as an SME, hypothetically speaking, especially in the current market scenario. Let me start off really with a segment of industry which many would say had it easy, in the sense it was a nascent industry, also showed a huge amount of entrepreneurship. And hence, let me start with you, Vineet Nair, HCL Technologies. When you started, of course, when the industry began, it was a nascent industry, it was, the field was open. Today, it's a very different scenario. Now, we are not going to talk about startups. We're going to address SMEs, companies who are sitting here, and how they should be negotiating this current environment where it seems to be a make or break theme, particularly from your industry perspective. What would you advise them at this point in time?
You know, the mess we are in as large industries and the lack of innovation and the inability to move the needle fast should be seen as an opportunity for most SMEs. You can move very quickly, you can take decisions very quickly, and you can adapt to the new trends, the new changes much faster than large companies can. So if you are very sharply focused on the differentiated value which you are creating, and very sharply focused on executing and creating a unique experience which the large companies can't, there is nothing which can prevent you from success. And therefore, my advice would be focus on uniqueness and focus on a wow experience, and you will beat the big companies.
And indeed, HCL sort of stuck it out there and proved a lot of the critics wrong, and we're seeing those results there. But Pramod, let me come to you, because many would say, listen, get real. In this current environment where it's all about vendor consolidation, the big eating up the small, what would you tell them?
There are so many opportunities where a niche product or a product which serves a distinctive segment with a very clear differentiated proposition or a core competitive advantage can be enormously successful. And I agree completely also with me that, play to your strengths, which are, you're nimble, you can be decisive, you can move fast, you can take smaller risks perhaps, but you can nevertheless take risks. The other element I would just talk about is that build organizations that are truly scalable. And I think that's the fundamental mistake a lot of people make, is they actually they may unfortunately shortchange themselves in hiring the right capability, which is not just supportive, but also very complementary to their skills. And if you can build a scalable organization with really global world-class people, then that will give you an enormous advantage as you go forward, particularly in a small company. So I think there's a huge opportunity out there.
Okay, Shivinder, in a way, you had to start all over again. You chose to start all over again. When you closed the Ranbaxy chapter, you had Fortis going with you. You were sitting on a huge amount of capital thereafter. And, we still continue to track about how you're using that money going forward. But in a way, would you say it was a new beginning for you? And what were your thoughts at this point? I mean, I can't call you an SME, obviously, looking at what you had access to. But, when you make new beginnings, fresh beginnings, and especially in this current market, how did you sort of approach it?
Well, I think Fortis, in its true sense, actually started off with virtually no background of any other group organization. I think Ranbaxy was so developed and so much more mature that it actually set itself up reasonably independent as a group any which way. But I think the learnings that we've had from a startup mode perspective, whether you're an SME or eventually a large organization, you still start small at the end of the day. Our focus on working on a niche that is adding value, either by virtue of being different from what is available in the market, or clearly where there's just a demand-supply gap, which is the case in the healthcare space, in starting in a geography where you don't actually have overcrowding in that sense. And I think that's really what we started off with. We worked not a very significantly different model from the sector, from a value proposition, but from a very different market. And then grew the niche that we wanted to be in. So whether you're a 10 employer or you're a 1,000 employer, you have to create a sustainable environment for people to actually come to work happily.
Right. Okay, Sunita, let me continue with the healthcare theme because today you have a lot of small mom and pop clinics coming up, and some of them have been able to scale up. Some of them we are felicitating tonight, but many of them and most of them sort of wither out with that 1 or 2 branches. And you continue to see the landscape. It continues to see more and more players coming in. What would you say is the biggest mistake which they are unable to overcome, particularly pertaining to your industry?
I think if you look at the healthcare landscape today, the biggest component of really scaling up the industry is the cost of the infrastructure. And that accounts for 60% of your cost. So I think, there should be a dual focus. One is on reducing cost, and the second is, the ability, like Vineet said, is to scale up. The third, of course, is to create a value proposition in whatever you do, because in healthcare, clinical quality is the ultimate test. And as long as you have uncompromising clinical quality, I think you build a brand which people will follow you anywhere.
Right. Vikram Bakshi, let me come to you because you're sort of representing a scenario, or rather an industry which is rapidly changed. Policies are changing. Clearly that's a big challenge, especially for SMEs when policies change. How are you preparing to really look at this changing landscape?
I don't think it's just simple policy changes that you're seeing. It's really the activity that you're seeing in the retail sector. That's what excites everybody. And I think far more important, while there'll be large companies will step in, but none of these large companies are going to succeed without these small and small enterprises which are going to be looking at these niche services, niche products that need to be created. It is not going to be possible for any large organization to survive without having the support of the SME sector. So great to see policies change. Policies change means hopefully money comes into the country. But by the end of the day, remember the real prosperity is going to come at the SME level. I don't really see, these large companies will take years and years and years. It took us 15 years to turn around, so you can imagine what it means. But I can tell you how many people who work with us have succeeded much faster or have turned around much faster and are doing very well. And not only are they serving us, they're serving, the rest of the sector too.
Jayapanda, I'm coming to you last because in a way you're representing policy, or rather the framework of policy which exists, and also as an entrepreneur, how you approach a market such as this. How important would you say really is the policy framework? Because many companies, especially the smaller ones, say despite or in spite of the policy, they've actually succeeded. In that sense, for instance, Vikram just mentioned retail, which is in some way supposed to actually be a huge sort of a boost for the SME sector, given some of the sourcing norms, technically, theoretically speaking. But how important would you say, or how conscious are policy makers as far as SMEs are concerned and the impact that it has on them?
I think we should recognize that after a period of many years, during the late 90s and early 2000s, when we celebrated entrepreneurship, when we celebrated the success stories, we have now fallen into a bit of a vicious cycle for the past few years, where we don't do that anymore. A few rotten apples, you've seen some examples of cronyism, and you've seen the downward trend of the economy globally as well as in India, has affected sentiment. And when you look at the dialogue in Parliament or in the public platform on policies concerning business and the economy, there seems to be, it's like a throwback to 20 years ago, when business per se, when entrepreneurship per se was treated with a degree of suspicion. And I think we need to overcome this period. Perhaps we're approaching that period where we have a turnaround, but the policy framework obviously is extremely important. I mean, if it takes you a year and a half to set up a business, these are hurdles that affect the entire economy, but they affect the SME segment more. Because a big company can have the infrastructure, can have the overheads to deal with the headaches of doing business in India. Well, a smaller company cannot afford to have that excess overhead. They will have to depend on being nimble and having certain advantages. I don't want to sound only negative, so I do want to highlight two advantages that SMEs will always have. One is they can have a cost advantage. Because do remember that while big businesses can have cost advantages based on scale, big businesses are also like governments. They have huge red tape, they have bureaucracies. small companies can take decisions without having to go through layers of committees and lots of other procedures. And I think the second big advantage that SMEs can have is in talent. We have traditionally seen the public sector and large companies in India attract talent. But as the SMEs have grown, I think a lot of talent recognizes that if they go to a startup or an SME, they have the ability to be able to run business units or even run companies much faster than if they get into a big organization.